Glorious! No, I won't give in till I'm victorious!
Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back for another brand new video. Today's video, you already know what it is by now. We are here to talk about the Villarreal 2, Rangers 2. This is going to be my fan recap. I'm going to tell you about the game. I'm going to jump over to Twitter and get the people's opinion from there. And if you're watching this video just now, make sure you get involved in the comment section below and let me know your opinions on that. And once again, thank you so much for everyone that's recently joined the channel as we continue that march to 21k, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But there's so much to talk about. My heart's like this. Take two. Let's jump into today's video. 3, 2, 1. The final score is 2-2. Now, what an absolute game of football. I don't know how it was for you watch the game, but for me personally, it was just a roller coaster of emotions. In fact, the 90 minutes summed up what it's like to be a Rangers fan and why I wouldn't change it for anything or any money in the entire world. It was a frightening game of football towards the start, let's be honest with you. When we saw the start lineup, we were like, why is Katic not playing? Big Joe Worrell's getting his debut, and shout out to Worrell, to be honest with you. It was his very first game for Rangers. It was away in Europe versus Villarreal. And let's not beat around the bush, okay? They got the goal in the first 40 seconds of the game after a sort of ricochet off the defenders. A bit of a mistake, very lackadaisical start. Baka just bangs one top left. I've seen Hartson trying to blame McGregor's position and all that, but we all know why he's doing that. And from there, I think every single Ranger fan that was watching this video was like, oh no, here we go again. We were sitting far too far off. We were not in the game. They were just dominating us. Santi Cazorla, we special mention. Obviously, he's been through a lot. He's battled for the last 2 or 3 years to get back in playing football. The guy's still got it. He's an absolute magician. He was just pinging passes. It was a pleasure to watch. And that first half, we somehow managed to make it to half time with 1-0 being the scoreline. I couldn't believe it, especially the way they just dominated the game. Rangers didn't look in it. We were all sad. We were aggressive. We were annoyed. But as Steven Gerrard continues to do, he just rallies the boys, gives them a wee bollocking at half-time, and Rangers come out to play. That said, though, they did miss 2 open goals at the first couple of minutes. But apart from that, he just came back into the game itself. We obviously got our equalising goal coming from Arfield, who, let's be honest, was a bit dreadful, wasn't he? Looked like a bit of a laggy player. Just was never really involved in the game, but you keep a guy that quality on for what actually happened. Drifts forward, wonderful, wonderful run from Tavernier, who refused to go down, battled and fought, was a true Rangers captain, ran out, would have won a penalty, but Candeas actually makes a connection with a cross. To be fair, if you're going to make a connection with one cross, make it be a goal, so shout out to Candeas. He drills it right along, Arfield with a composed finish and makes it 1-1, and I'm giving it all this. I didn't even tweet it because I was celebrating that hard. I was just, sponsor breaks were everywhere, right? And then I looked up and I went, oh, he's cut inside Barris. Oh, it's 2-1. Aye. So we conceded 40 seconds into the first half. We equalised. We conceded 40 seconds again. I'm no joke. It was frightening. Alright. I was still getting at this. They cut inside Barisic and bang one bottom right. Barisic was beaten very, very, very easily. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that one. And I just went from here to here. Again, the Rangers roller coaster of life. And I was just sitting back like that. I just couldn't believe it. And I was just so annoyed. But we made a little substitution. Stevie G made a substitution, taking the destroyer of worlds, Koulibaly, off the park, which was ballsy, especially when you keep Arfield at that time had been playing so poorly, and obviously Andy Halliday, who, shout out to him by the way, had actually a very, very solid game. But you're taking a Koulibaly off and leaving those two in the middle of the park, and you bring in Glenn Middleton. Now, I'm going to compose myself, I'm not going to just go hyper, but the lad genuinely changed the entire game. He just seemed to rally everyone. He's got this fearlessness that he just seems to have. It's one of his biggest traits. Everyone talks about how direct he is and he's crossing, which is absolutely spectacular as well. But it's the fearlessness, because you've seen some players come in, like maybe even the first 45 minutes, there was a bit of fear in that Rangers team against Villarreal. They just didn't look quite at it. They looked nervous. This guy comes on, doesn't matter if it's against Dundee or Villarreal at their stadium. The guy will play the exact same way. He'll knock it by your left back and he'll whip balls in. It's what he does. He's very, very direct. He doesn't care who he's up against, and I think that's his biggest trait, and that seemed to rally the troops on. Obviously, he was very involved in the second goal with a beautiful pass to Barisic. Barisic gets another assist, making up for that mistake at their goal. Flips it into Kyle Lafferty, who I did tell you in yesterday's prediction video, Villarreal will know who he is by tomorrow. and he done it. Beautiful, beautiful finish. It was a frustrating afternoon for Kyle Lafferty. He wasn't involved too much, but he won a couple of free kicks, and he was there when we needed him for a composed, confident finish, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Kyle Lafferty with his first goal in European football, and then it was 2-2. Game on. Sprinkled round about that time, by the way, Shagger, who had another fantastic day, for me personally anyway, made a couple of very, very good saves. One from a volley, another one from a Santi Carzolo shot. A couple of times where he had to come out and win the ball when they got in behind our defence, which is obviously a problem that we seem to have with Joe Worrell. Maybe not the quickest, so that is something we can fix and obviously improve later on in his Rangers time. But Shagger was there when we needed him. Come out, slide, win the ball. He's better than Neuer. And the reason I'm mentioning that is he just was involved in everything. And even after we made it 2-2, he made another slide and interception to win us the ball. Yes, they missed a couple of chances, and I completely agree. If you're coming on this, maybe supporting another team, or if you're being really objecting, saying, oh, we were lucky, CJ, if they took our chances. Football's all about luck. You didn't always score the chances that you create. It's all about taking your chances. Yes, they had more chances than us. But I tell you, son, when Graham Dorrance, GD, the goatee beard of dreams, came on and done his wee twinkle toes, showing his class when he's up fuller field, that he can create things. He does a beautiful little fake shot, and he passes it right in. He's got Arfield. Arfield should score that chance. We should win that game right at the death. But Arfield, unfortunately, doesn't take the chance. And then from there, it just became a ping-pong match. It was just frightening. Thankfully, Villarreal missed 2 late headers, but they could have won the game once again. But can I just say, what a wonderful, wonderful game of football. I have got a couple of thoughts. I'm going to speak more about that maybe tomorrow when I calm down. But honestly, I love Rangers. My heart's just no, I didn't do that because the shirt falls. From playing 6-7 years ago, standing in hedges watching them versus Brecon, to drawing 2-2 versus Villarreal, who finished 5th in the Spanish League at their stadium. It's just what an absolute unbelievable journey. And before we go any further, I just want to give a massive, massive shout out to the Rangers fans. I know I've done it a couple of times on Twitter, but when we were getting beat 1-0 in the first 40 seconds, all you heard was Rangers fans. All you heard was Rangers fans for the entire first half, singing their songs. Even when they scored, when we scored, obviously they went mental. When they scored, the Rangers fans just responded, and they were loud, and they carried the players to the game itself. And I genuinely believe that they played an important part of this game. So shout out to the Rangers fans, who was obviously there in Villarreal. What an absolute atmosphere that you created. And yeah, I'm honestly delighted with it. That's kind of where I'm going to be just now. There's probably something I'm going to be missing, and everyone's going to be very, very angry at me. But overall, it was a game we could have lost, but it was a game we fought, we dug deep in. I wish we could play second half football at the start. If you watch many of the games, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. We seem to always start off bad, we go into the second half, Gerrard shouts at them, then they come out and play like a Rangers team. That's my only wee gripe about that, but I'm not going to turn any negatives in this video, right? That is my opinion on the game. I'm absolutely delighted. Couldn't be any prouder of the boys. What is your opinion on the game? Make sure you let me know in the comment section below. It's time for a sponsor break, actually. Yes, it's still the same Mandarinade. I don't care. 3, 2, 1, sponsor break! Now it is time to jump over to Twitter and read the people's opinion from there. It's been 8 years since we've played European football. And yeah, Rangers fans, we deserve this. We deserve this feeling. 706 votes already. It's only been up 25 minutes. Thank you so much for that. The 3 people that I listed up, by the way, as the man of the match was Shagger, Tav and Middleton. Once again, I'm going to give it to Middleton. I know he was only on 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 17 minutes, whatever he was on, but he changed the entire game for me, and he was a clear man of the match. I just want to pose a question, if you're still watching this late into the video, is, can you name a Rangers winger on better form than Glenn Middleton right now? The man deserves a start. I know we've got a cup game coming up versus Ayr. The man's got to be the first name on the team sheet because he deserves it. You've got to reward these performances. I know he's young. I know he's got a lot to learn, but if you're good enough, you're old enough, and I'd give Glenn Middleton the shot he deserves, to be honest with you. So, let's see what the people's got to say. 5% votes for other, 18% votes for Tav, 34% of the people votes for Shagger, but 44% of the people votes for Glenn Middleton as man of the match. Jamie at Jamie9969580 says, I effing love Glasgow Rangers, mate. Me too, brother. Me too. Andrew Wilson said Middleton, I absolutely love him. Ewan McKenzie said Glenn Middleton totally changed the game when he came on. Could have been Shagger, but I don't care. I've got to give it to Middleton. Ross Watson says can't give it to Middleton because he never played the full game. He was great though. Halliday was also great. There wasn't many great individual performances, but a very, very good result. And I disagree with that because I think if you come on and you score a hat-trick, you deserve to win man of the match. And I think that's the same if you're a winger or a midfield player or a defender. If you come on and change that the way the game's actually going and improve it, I think you deserve to be in the run for the man of the match. Josh McGinnis says Stevie G is man of the match for me. Scott Young says feel like I've just ran a marathon, but what a result that was. Also shout to Halliday for a terrific game. Again, very, very solid. A couple of his passes were slightly off, but I thought positionally he was very good. He got stuck in and he never surrendered. Colin says Middleton didn't play many minutes, but quality over quantity. He was outstanding, 2 great goals, a hard-earned point on the board, fantastic result for me. Deaky Neil says, picture boy. Thought he changed the game, this boy definitely's got a big, big future. Jay Fletcher says, writing this off a mate's phone, got lost mine in the midst of a celebration. Shout out to Jay Fletcher for that. In the second half, when we weren't scared on the ball and took the game to them, we looked dangerous. No need to fear them at Ibrox. Also, Glenn effing Middleton. Glenn Middleton indeed, Jay. Hopefully you find your phone, buddy. And also shout out to Jamie _GOEGAN said, so proud. 3 AM I woke up in Melbourne. Was well worth it to see our boys on the European stage. Middleton absolutely bossed it when he came on. Man of the match for me. The lad changed the entire game when he came on. Shout out to Jamie G for getting up that early to watch the famous. And yeah, that's me sort of done with the actual game. I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait to see what your opinions are on the game. And also, I just want to take a wee moment just to announce that we have now launched officially, there's going to be a Patreon on the channel. We tried to do it through YouTube memberships, but that's only for channels over 100k. Again, you don't need to support it or anything like that, but if you want to, there will be a link in the description. Every penny will be invested back into the channel in terms of quality for the camera, is obviously what we're saving up for first. The lighting, everything like that. We're also going to be trying a couple of things in the background. I can't tell you too much, but there will be a link in the description. Again, you don't need to if you don't want to, but if you want to help the channel out, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated as we take that next step forward and try and deliver the content that you guys deserve. And yeah, sorry if this video was extremely rambly. I love Rangers and I'm absolutely buzzing out my nut. So yeah, I've been CJ over 92. Thank you so much for watching and bye.